Hi, it's Julie Cheese here. I know it's been a long time since my last video. It's just because I've been working really hard. I've been super busy creating my very first painting collection, and I think it's shaping up nicely. I can't wait to show them to you in the future. Today, what we're gonna do is not to create a new painting, but to fix an old painting. I think it's very important that after you finish a painting, you just kind of like put it away, put it aside and wait maybe a day or two or even longer to kind of refresh your eye, refresh your mind before you come back to it. Because every single time when I come back to an old painting, I would see something that needs to be fixed. I would really be able to look at it with a more objective and more open mind. The painting that I will be fixing, this one right here. The color is not quite there yet. It doesn't have that pop-up factor like how I want it to be. So the goal for today is to actually fix the focal point of this painting, make it pop even more, maybe change up the background a little bit. So this is a painting that I did a couple of weeks ago. I just put it on the shelf. I knew that there was something missing and that's something that needed to be changed. But I just didn't have that motivation or inspiration to fix it. So when I spend a lot of time with a painting, I tend to become so blind. I won't be able to tell if my painting is complete or what needs to be fixed right there and right then. But today when I come back to it, I know that I need to add more highlights by mixing white with a tiny amount of lavender, just so I can increase that contrast and I can pull the viewer's eyes to where the light hit the petal. Acrylic is so forgiving, and this is exactly what I love about this medium. Now you can see that I'm working with a monochromatic palette. It's purple, blue, and pink. So it's okay to add them wet on wet. There's some mixing and blending happening right here, and it's actually helped to create that transition between the light and the shadow. I used to be a fast painter, and I would get so frustrated when a painting goes wrong that I would just throw away the canvas without even thinking about fixing it. To me, the most difficult part about fixing a painting is actually making decision to fix a painting. But over time, I learned that a painting can have many beginnings. It gets to start over whenever you return to it. I tried not to get trapped in the thinking that, oh, this painting is so ugly, oh, this is so wrong, and that's what needs to be fixed. I've learned that every time I sit down and pick up the brush with the thinking that, oh, I'm repairing a broken painting, then it really put a lot of pressure on my shoulder, and it kept me from enjoying the process. And yes, there are times that I am stuck, struggle, and wondering what color do I need to put right here, or do I need to go darker, do I need to melt this, do I need to brighten this. But it's all about having fun and exploring, and to give your painting a chance and do yourself a big favor. Many times during the process of fixing a painting, I would make another mistake, and that's exactly what's happening here. Some of the burnt sienna got on my pinky finger and got on the canvas where my finger touched. And my normal reaction would be, oh, I did not give you the permission to go right there, step in sienna. Burnt sienna is such a strong and saturated red base brown color that once it got to my canvas is hard to take off. Bob Ross said that it's okay to make mistakes because they're not mistakes, they're just happy little accidents. So, you know what? I'm just gonna keep them and make them part of my painting. I'm gonna continue to use this sienna to push the contrast of my painting. When we hear the word contrast, we probably think of dark versus light. But in the world of art, there are many different kinds of contrast, like cool and warm, light and dark, sharp and blurry, thick and thin, detailed, sketchy, straight and curved. As a beginner painter, it's just so challenging, so difficult for me to keep all of these elements and all the rules in mind when I paint. So I'm just gonna pick one element to tackle at a time, and in this case it is the dark and light contrast. I'm pushing the shadow to a deeper shade of green, almost black, just to give it a nice contrast to the bright flowers. And the second thing that I think that need to improve is, the background up here on the top still look a little bland and boring. Boring would be the last thing that you want to do for your painting, right? So what I'm doing is I'm adding a very subtle, very light shade of the peachy pink, not to completely cover up the colors that are already there, but just kind of layering and to make sure that you keep some of the old color. In this case, it's like purple and coral, some pastel pink kind of peeking through the final look. As I took a step back to look at my entire painting, I feel like this blue right here is a little distracting. It's just taking away the attention from my focal point. So I decided to just change it into the yellow base green, which is complementary to the purple. Adding a bit of bright color here to make my focal point pop even more. And the last thing that I want to fix is adding the details that was missing. I usually paint the center of the flower last. I don't know. It just gave me a sense of accomplishment. And that's a great feeling. I'm happy with the changes that I make. Of course, it's still not perfect, but I think the most important thing is that I had the courage to actually take action and fix what did not work.